Okay, going to call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, there is no public forum for this evening. It's been suspended. And we will move on to reports and correspondence from the board. And I just want to say that I thought the graduation, the amount of work that went into graduation was great. Definitely unique. Giving a commencement address to an empty stadium is certainly a unique thing to experience. But I can tell you that I witnessed the graduates coming down, and there was just as much excitement from the kids and the parents as it would have been if the stadium was, if the field was full and the bleachers were full. And
I didn't tell her.
It's not what we're used to, and it's not what they're used to. But the work that Carl Pabon and Kelly White put into it, and everybody else that put into it, just an awesome job, and to see and the additional things that are going on, the car parade for graduation on Thursday, and then the drive-in theater on Thursday night, and the community support that we got from putting up different things around the community and how they welcomed it. As much as this could have been part of not being normal, yet to being normal, was just amazing to see how everybody tried to make it just as special for the children of this district, and they certainly deserved it. Hopefully by next year, we'll be in a different place, in a different spot, and we'll be able to get back to where things were. So that's what I have on the graduation. Anybody have anything else? Oh, one other thing I want to talk about. Where are we, Jody, with the mascot?
Actually, today Lisa got a revised mascot from the designer, so we will be moving forward. I know we were waiting, hopefully going to wait until we got back to a little bit more public session before we present. But it's at the board's, we can do it at any time.
Yeah, we can do it. So why don't we put it on for the reorg?
Let's see what the agenda looks like.
Okay. Look to put it on for the reorg, if not, the meeting right after that, so that we can have something going into the school year.
Awesome.
That's consistent. That's all I have. Any other board members? Nope. Okay. Superintendent Lisa Wiles.
I have a few things this evening. Just a reminder that we have a list of who has said yes. If anyone that said no to the drive-in, if you change your mind and you want to come, please call Nafisa. The Fair Oaks Drive-In opens at 8:15 for everyone to arrive, and it says the film is going to start at dusk around 9 o'clock on Thursday. There is also information out about the 8th grade virtual moving up ceremony that usually happens on Thursday. So there's information out there for more events that are happening as we round out this week. I have received no information from New York State. I know there's a lot of questions about this with regard to any revised state aid numbers. The next look back is a week from today, June 30th. I'm hoping that by mid-July or the end of July, there'll be some guidance if they're going to cut, what they're going to cut, so that we can really scuttle around and figure out what we're doing when it comes to September. If we can cut less than we did or restore, whether we have to go deeper. There's a lot of anxiety in a lot of schools about this, and I'm really hoping that, the governor and the legislature take heed to making this decision and as quickly as they can, obviously based on data. But I do have to say I have concerns about reopening. We still haven't gotten guidance on reopening. We're looking at that. We will have discussions about reopening plans and what that looks like in September. There's going to be multiple different scenarios that we're coming up with. But I have to say, I think it's disingenuous of the state to think that they can cut programs and have us fund unfunded mandates for the personal protection equipment and other things that are going to have to be done to bring students and staff into this building safely. So I am not getting off this soapbox. I think that if they want us to do it, they have to fund us. We were not funded equitably, and our voices have to be heard about that in this community. And I think that we have to continue to push on with that, but it's disingenuous to think that we are going to be able to have less money and open these buildings up in a safe fashion. So we are working on that, and I will continue to provide the information to the board. And the last thing I want to talk about, and I hit upon it a little bit, is equity. And, you know, I'm passionate about that for this district, and we are not funded and haven't been funded to the levels we should be, and our students are at a disadvantage over that. And with all of the current events that we see and all of the conversations that are being had now, I think this is the time for the state and the federal government to make it right for schools like us. And beyond the state and the federal government issues, we will be rolling out a district-wide diversity, inclusivity, and equity committee in the district that is going to look deeply, you know, with some consultants that we're looking at, other school districts have engaged to look at our policies, our curriculum, our training for staff, and our student initiatives when it comes to racism, bias, and diversity in schools. There's been some information out there about a recommendation to the school and some things that have happened in the past year with regard to a Black History course curriculum that was forwarded to me a couple of days ago, forwarded it on to Mr. Pabon. It's something the curriculum committee could look at. But we are going to work on this as all other school districts are doing. Orange County has more of a central type of initiative. The superintendents in Ulster County, I'm sure, are going to be talking about it. But there's just so many initiatives happening here with regard to reopening and state aid. We are not going to lose the focus on our own equitable practices, what we have done, what we need to do, and how much more we have to add to that. So I just wanted to share that with the board. And we're not behind on it. We'll be working on it over the summer. And we are not going to do this as a one-time shot initiative. We're going to build in some sustainability of various initiatives here. So we are working on that. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you very much. Assistant Superintendent Iris.
Question. I received a phone call from the town today, I believe, about the summer program. Where kids will be coming to school for breakfast over the summer.
So thank you for bringing that up, because I think we're going to try to get more PR out about this. I'm going to defer to Vince in a minute, but I spoke to the supervisor today, and they are going to have a summer feeding program, but they need to have a commitment of 300 students and families. And right now they're at 15. So I don't know why, you know, I don't know if it's the end of the school year and people are just overwhelmed with what just happened with home learning and remote learning, but they put out a couple of robocalls. We're going to do the same and share it on our Facebook page tomorrow. But really, for those listening to our board meetings, the meals are here and they're available for everybody. And please respond to the town if you have a need or you want to participate. So we would encourage everyone.
To eat, or it's going to be like the food that we were doing during the school year?
I'm going to defer to Vince.
We're deferring. Okay.
So that was a topic I was going to talk about, but I'll add a couple things. Our last school meal delivery was yesterday. We handed out to all the 600 bags that we handed out yesterday. We included a copy of the town's flyer. I know that they did robocalls, and depending on how many applicants they get and where they are, they're going to have a couple different models, but it'll be very similar to what we have. They will do some pickup here, but they will also do delivery. And they're working with Rolling VR bus contractor to figure out what those routes would look like and how many buses that they would need. But they do need a minimum of 300 people to commit to get the meals, because them, like us, there's a federal reimbursement that's part of the meals that they serve. So it'll, they can get money back and it'll cover the cost of the meals. If they under the 300, it's probably going to cost a lot more than it would be what they had budgeted for. Right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. And that covers your presentation as well, Vince?
Yep.
Okay. Deputy Superintendent, Ms. Angela Urbina Medina. Just want to add before you go, with heavy heart, that this will be our last meeting with you. I guess you're leaving. Next meeting, we will not see you, but just want to say on behalf of the Board of Education, including John, that we will miss you. We really thank you for your dedication and professionalism to this district. We look forward to working with you and alongside you in your new endeavors down in New Paltz. And don't forget about Ellenville as you go about your bright future.
Well, thank you. And I do want to say, thank you to the members of the Board of Education. You have acted as mentors to me in the conversations that we've had and the relationship that we've developed over the years. I wouldn't, be able to take this big leap if it hadn't been for all that I've learned in Ellenville. So I certainly will not be leaving Ellenville in my rear. Ellenville will always be with me wherever it is that I go. So I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And it's not goodbye. It's see you later. But thank you.
Thank you. Do you have anything for us tonight?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the rest of the agenda.
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. President, that we do a consent agenda with the exception of personnel resolutions.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, no one? Motion carries. Okay, we will read out the personnel resolutions for this evening. Permanent appointment upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that the appointment of Michael Scarzafava, security attendant, be made permanent following successfully probationary period of 6 months effective June 2nd, 2020.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, no one? Motion carries unanimous. Permanent appointment upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that the appointment of Richard Jacobs, he's a character, all right. No, I'm just kidding. Worked with me for 25 years. Security attendant be made permanent following successfully probationary period of 6 months effective September 2nd, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, no one? Motion carries unanimous. Appointment of a new school counselor. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Tracy Berry, who holds a provisional New York State certificate in the area of school counselor, be appointed to a 4-year probationary position of school counselor in the tenure area of school counseling and guidance, effective September 1, 2020 through September 1, 2024, at a contractual rate of $75,360, step 3, bachelor's plus 72 plus master's. Be it further resolved that to the extent applicable under Education Law 3012-D and the accompanying commissioner's regulations, in order to be considered for tenure, Tracy Berry must have received an APPR rating of effective or highly effective in 3 of the 4 probationary years and must not receive an ineffective in the final year.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. The only question I have is that the appointment is effective September 1st, and we have her for summer work.
Yeah, and that's the next resolution.
But how can she be working in the summer if the appointment's not effective till September 1st?
Because you're appointing her as a guidance counselor during the months of July and August.
Okay,
Her tenure track won't start until September 1st.
all righty.
Cleared it with council.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Question,
Yes.
why wouldn't her tenure track start before if she's working consistently right through the beginning of the school year?
So it's not consistent. It's a random 20 days, so it's not a full load, so to speak, for July and August. I spoke to the attorneys about it, and the first date of tenure is when school when school is open.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries unanimous. Summer guidance counselor, upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Tracy Berry is hereby appointed to work as a guidance counselor during the months of July and August at the rate of 1/200 of the MA Step 3 salary schedule for up to 20 work days scheduled by the
So moved.
superintendent.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries unanimous. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Tim Lukaseski be approved to work 20 hours per week, not to exceed 200 hours, at a rate of $41 per hour work for the summer of 2020, effective June 29, 2020 through August 30th, 2020, same as last year.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries unanimous. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Frank Mulhern be appointed as administrative substitute at a rate of $75 per hour work, effective July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Iris.
A substitute, is she going to be the assistant superintendent position? Who's the stepping point?
It has been on per diem as needed, and we don't always use it, but there is an administrator that's going out for a period of time.
Oh,
So we'll see if we need it. We don't normally over the summer, but in case something comes up.
oh, so it's not a specific position?
No.
it's filled.
And he also works through BOCES for us. That portion of what he does is funded through the MBK grant. This is funded as a substitute in case we need support in the building if someone's
I
out.
thought it was for specific, but it's not. Okay.
John?
That was my question. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Lisa Dwyer be appointed as a part-time psychologist effective July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021 at a contractual rate of $73.65 per hour, work not to exceed 30 hours per work week.
So moved.
Second.
Move seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries unanimous. Is there anything that anybody would like to see on the next agenda? If not, the board, we will meet again for our reorg on
We have
July.
to do the rest of the,
We did a consent agenda for the rest.
did we do that already?
Did you vote?
We didn't
No.
vote on it,
For
did you?
the psychologist, I thought we did.
No, for the consent agenda.
For the
Yeah,
rest
we
of
did.
it?
We voted for the consent
Did we
agenda.
vote on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Did we vote on the rest of the
You get an
agenda?
entire consent agenda
Yeah.
aside
Yes.
from the personnel resolutions.
Iris,
Oh, we did it
I'm
backwards.
with you right here. Me and you.
What's the deal, Vince?
We both missed
Did
it.
we do it, or did we
Yeah,
not?
we did it at the beginning.
Personnel, we didn't vote on
Oh,
Right.
I see.
We voted.
I
Okay,
don't know,
so,
Vince, we gotta get with the agenda here.
We voted on the consent.
yeah, we did vote on the
And we
consent.
pulled personnel out.
Yes.
Correct.
And we pulled personnel out, and that's why we read it.
Okay. I'm
Okay,
good.
so board, mark your calendars. July 1st is our reorganization meeting, and we will see you next week. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries.